So if you're tired of SEO being this super complicated thing where you don't know which course to take or who to hire or what to do, or if you should be doing heading tags or schema markup or any of the crazy things people tell you need to be doing, today I'm going to simplify things for you into a couple easy steps so you know what to do and what not to do when it comes to SEO without needing to know a whole bunch of technical jargon. Now first of all, before I do get into this, let me acknowledge the fact that SEO can be extremely complicated if you are doing certain tasks. Like for instance, if you're working with a huge website with millions of pages indexed on Google, that's going to be a little bit more complicated of a task than if you're working with like this local business with only 5 pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you the general things that you can fix right off the bat and some things that you're probably going to want to look at when it comes to most websites. Now if you do want to get into more advanced type stuff, I have courses for this. You can head to my website, check out all the different courses I have where I cover more like national type targeting with your SEO, local, and other things around SEO when it comes to technical, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I'm going to tell you how to do SEO in a couple simple steps without you needing to know a lot of stuff about it. So the first thing you need to know about is basically anything that Google tells you is a ranking factor. So Google has told us that page speed is a ranking factor. Having a secure site or SSL certificate is a ranking factor. Other things like, of course, having titles that represent what your page is about or content that talks about what that page should be ranking for. All of those things are obvious ranking factors. Now, how do you optimize for those things right off the bat? Well, first of all, you can just do like an easy page speed scan like GTmetrix, or you can use certain tools like Screaming Frog to actually crawl your website and see if there's anything wrong with your website. Now, this is something that's really simple, right? This is just like, okay, well, I'm just going to go check my page speed, and then I'm going to go check my heading tags, and that's not really a strategy, right? The strategy really, at the end of the day, for most business owners and for people who have an SEO strategy that they're trying to implement and they don't know where to start with that, is coming up with your main goal first, or your figuring out your main KPI. So KPI, key performance indicator, is where you suspect that you're going to be making most of your money. So let's just say you have a local business selling computers, and you want to sell computers and computer repair. Now on one side, let's say on average you make, let's say $500 a computer, and for computer repair you make like $75 per repair, but you get way more customers coming in for repairs. Or you know that you can scale that other department out a lot faster because you have people willing to work there, and maybe you don't have as high of a demand for computers, so you're not ordering as much. Whatever the case is, first you figure out what your main KPI is. So let's just say your main KPI to start out with is the computer service. So what you need to start doing is figure out how is that going to reach people in a basic organic way through Google. Now, one of the ways, let's just say for a local business, is Google My Business. So if somebody's going to be searching for a local-based search, you know that they're probably going to find some sort of Google Map listing. Now, when it comes to Google Maps, one of the big ranking factors there is reviews, things like citations, making sure that you have images up of your building. If you have further questions about how to actually optimize your Google My Business besides the stuff that I'm just telling you, I have tutorials on my YouTube channel. You can just type in Google My Business optimization and you'll find that. But the point is that when you're looking to rank for something, you need to be trying to optimize that asset based on where you think your KPI is. So again, if you were trying to sell computer repair as a service, and a lot of people are going to be coming in through the maps, and if you don't know that, you can probably guess it by going over to your competitors and seeing how much traffic they're getting. You can use something called SimilarWeb, which will actually show, similarweb.com will actually show what your competitors are getting traffic, how much traffic they're getting from different sources. And it could be that they're not even getting a lot of traffic from Google. It could be that they're getting traffic from YouTube or Facebook. So that's a completely other topic, and obviously you are going to want to create an ongoing content marketing strategy after you figure out what your SEO game plan is for Google. But once you figure out your KPI, let's say maybe it's Google Maps and then also organic, and you want to start selling different types of services, like let's say virus removal and mobile computer repair and network installation. So once you figure those things out, then you're going to want to start ranking for them, obviously, right? So some of the things that can really hold you back from ranking those things is, one, the amount of content you have on your page in comparison to how much content other people have on their website. So let's say you're trying to rank for virus removal, and you know that in a competitor, what a competitor has is they have, let's say, 1,000 words, you only have 300. So the first thing I would recommend is trying to get to the same average that they're at in terms of content. And this means also images and internal links. If they have internal links pointing to other pages, you want to try to create a similar architecture. Now, that's not just in the sense of your own website, but also in the sense of creating your architecture based off multiple websites. So if you see that, for instance, this top competitor, number 1, is ranking for computer repair, and they have 50 pages on their website about virus removal, and then another competitor that's ranking number 2 has 30 pages about virus removal, so on and so on. You're going to want to try to create a similar theme to what they're ranking for. And this doesn't mean just try to, copy everything they're doing, but what you're doing is you're actually taking architectures that Google's obviously already finding helpful to people based off content, based off averages, based off data, right? And then optimizing for those content averages based on what's already ranking. So you take your KPI, you take your average that you're trying to rank, let's just say it's like based on what competitors are ranking for and getting traffic for from what you can see, and you start optimizing for those things based off data that you can actually see. I actually have a software that I created, it's called Benchmarketer, that will go and scan all the search results for a certain keyword that you put in and tell you what your deficits are in terms of your content averages. Some other stuff that you need to think about as well is the way your site is appearing on Google. So if you haven't set up Search Console or Google Analytics, you should really do that and see how people are actually interacting with your site. So if you look at your site and you see that in Search Console that your click-through rates are really low for your pages because maybe you haven't set up your title tags correctly or something like that, that's something you also probably want to optimize. If you look and see that, for instance, your bounce rates on Google Analytics or your average session duration is really high or really low, high for the bounce rates, low for the average session duration, you want to figure out what the problem is with that. Now, once you get your basic stuff figured out, which is making sure there's a correct user experience, making sure that your click-through rates aren't too low, and that you're actually getting the type of traffic that you're looking for, the next thing that you're going to want to look at is your conversion rates, looking at conversion rate optimization, and then creating an ongoing content marketing strategy. Now, if you're still not ranking after figuring out all these averages and setting up a similar content architecture similar to what's already ranking out there, and you're following these different steps I'm talking about, then what you need to do is you need to start looking at how you're going to build authority. So what I usually do if a site isn't ranking is I don't build links to it, I actually try to build authority to that website. So this is going back to what we were talking about before with the different types of marketing. The best way to build authority is not just on Google, it's by targeting other social type platforms where you can bring an audience by targeting business owners. So let's say you want to do virus removal as your main service that you're selling locally. You could start doing tutorials teaching other people how to do virus removal, and then funnel those people into your website or into an email list or wherever you're taking them. And you can use those people to help grow your authority by generating reviews, generating links, and doing a ton of stuff that's niche related to what you're trying to rank for locally. So the top 3 things that I'm recommending here is figuring out your basic foundation, like page speed, user metrics, analytics, Search Console, just making sure that all this stuff on your site is technically fine, and then go out and try to make a ongoing content strategy, not just on your website, but in other assets that it's on a national level so you can build that into your local authority. And then create a remarketing strategy based on that where you're asking for reviews or links or whatever you're trying to do to build up your authority more. I've done this for almost all of my local sites and it's worked very well. I've been able to get tons of reviews and literally just rank them almost instantly in the map packs because of this. And that alone will probably help you rank number 1 in most areas. So if you're looking for more information around how to do SEO and this is a little bit too confusing for you, just stick around, check out some more of the tutorials that I have on my channel. Hopefully it'll start becoming more clear. And again, if you want to take any of the courses I have to offer, just head to the different video courses I have on my website at chaserenner.com. And that's it for today. If you like these videos, make sure you leave a like and let me know by leaving a comment. And until I see you all next time, happy SEOing.